friends. Okay, happy Saturday. If you made it through the week, I know I needed that. Y'all, it has been the longest, roughest week. I'm not going to start crying. I'm not. Okay, I might. If you ever just needed a moment, you need to go. Today is that day. Carol Beth told me the only thing she wanted me to do today was chill. Just chill. I cried last night. Well, I started crying yesterday afternoon. And I cried. And it was just from exhaustion, frustration, and just fed up. Just fed up. Something every day this week has been something medically with me. It's just been go, go, go. Tuesday I had treatment. Wednesday I had the surgeon consult, and then Carol Beth had the dentist. No cavities, and they were able to buff her tooth, the one that she had chipped. It was just a little nick in it, and she never did tell me this. She told the dentist this. I kept asking her if it hurt, and she's like, no. She told the dentist it was rubbing her tongue whenever she would eat, talk, all that fun stuff, and it had rubbed a spot in her lip. She never told me that. Yeah. She doesn't know to tell you, hey, my head hurts, this hurts. You have to probe questions. And it has to be very specific questions, not just, does it hurt? Does it hurt your lip? Does it hurt your tongue? But I assumed, with me asking her, did it hurt? I feel so bad for my baby. Luckily, it wasn't chipped long. He did buff it out. All is well in the world. She was so excited about no cavities. Where was I? Oh, that was Wednesday. Thursday, I went and I had my pork. Honey, he cut me open there in his office. I told y'all all that. And the thing was, I could hear, well, I could hear scraping on metal. I can't even redo the sound. And I could feel like this pull. Not really pain, but pull. And I even had my earbuds in. I did. I could only put one in though, because he was working on this side. I couldn't put anything on this side. Yeah. So the earbuds did help them. It did. It was just weird, kind of, and then when he did the stitches, I could see the thread. Because I was laying on my back. Anywho, that happened Thursday afternoon. That man took off and took me. And the surgeon was just like, oh yeah, we can fix it, we're going to flip it around. And then he was like, well, it's not even flipped, it's in there perfectly. He said, I could not ask for a better placement. He said, I don't know. He said, I think it just needs flushing. He said that, or the people that were doing it just didn't know what they were doing. And I'm sitting there thinking, now I done told you, like 10 different people have tried on 10 different occasions, different locations, different cities to try to access it. All 10 were unsuccessful. So I could understand 1 or 2 not being able to do it, but 10? Yeah, no. He got his answer. He was trying to flush it and it wouldn't do anything. He was like, wait a minute now. And I asked him, I'm like, well, what are you going to do? He's like, I'm taking it out. And I could feel him fiddling around in there. I'm like, oh crap. But he did, and then he showed me. It was clogged, y'all. It was clogged up tighter than a frog's butt. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty clogged up. Anywho, got that out. Friday I went to have a CT on my bladder. See, the fun never ends with me. It just... And by Friday evening, I did not leave there till like 3. So I thought, I'm tired. I could not have anything to eat or drink from 10 o'clock that morning until when I left there at about 3. I was starving, I was hungry, I was thirsty, all the things. So if you saw my Instagram post, you know, I wound up at Marco's Pizza. Love our local Marco's. We go to the one on Perry Hill. If you're ever in Montgomery or the surrounding area, go to Marco's Pizza on Perry Hill Road. You will not be disappointed. Not sponsored in any way, but hey, Marco's, if you want to, I got you. Anywho, that was just a nice treat yesterday evening. We ate pizza, we chilled, we watched wrestling. That's our Friday night thing now. We have a standing date. Carol Beth comes in the living room. We all watch WWE SmackDown. It's SmackDown or Raw that comes on Friday night. I get confused. Anywho, Carol Beth's Batman know what they're watching. I do get excited when they start, like, you know, pulling hair. Yeah, anywho. I watched The Sopranos maybe late last night. Everybody had done gone to bed. I was still up and wired and just kind of couldn't sleep and just, I was trying to decompress. I really was, because I did have my crying spell. And, yeah. So I sat there and I watched The Sopranos maybe. And then I went to bed. And, yeah, here we are this morning. Now that you've had a long recap, man, that was a whole video right there. What? Today, I'm just going to, like I said, chill under Carol Beth's orders. I don't know why I put this on. It's a lightweight cardi. It's long sleeve, but I'm pushing them up. I've got a cami on, just going super simple. Y'all, these camis I got last year from Walmart for like $1.68. I need more colors. I know last year they had like an olive green. I need olive green, a burgundy. The autumn colors is what I'm looking for. Anyhow, gotta do laundry. During my chill day, I'm doing laundry. And I think to go like in the crock pot for lunch, supper tonight, whatever. We're gonna watch ball games. The Auburn LSU game does not come on until 8 o'clock tonight. But I'm watching it. If you hear screaming, it's from Montgomery, Alabama, and it is me. But anywho, I've got a little bitty, this is one of those little tiny pork butts. Pork roast. Little pork roast I got out of the freezer. And then this is some leftover ham that has been in there since probably, I would guesstimate to say Easter. Yeah. It still looks good. It doesn't look freezer burned per se. This was just the juices. I'm going to go and soak me in heat fast. Do the quick soak of some big lima beans. And I'm going to do ham and limas and pulled pork. And that's what we're going to do today for lunch. I'm still working on freezer stuff. I got to do laundry. I'm going to go ahead and get this going. There's Toot. Hey, Toot. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get her. I was going to do those pork ribs, but I've got another day for those. I need something that's going to do today and tomorrow. So I figured between the pork roast and the ham and lima beans, that will cover both days. If you've been around here long enough, you know I strive to, whatever I cook on Saturday, I try to cook enough for Sunday lunch. Or, last week we went to the farmer's market late Saturday afternoon. They were closing up, and the lady wanted to get rid of her chicken and dumplings. I might have to have that man hit them up this afternoon. She made wonderful taco soup too. Didn't get to try it, but you could smell it. So let me get these going in the crock pot and yeah, quick soak some beans. Alright, now for my beans that I'm going to quick soak. And we call butter beans. Y'all call them like green limas or lima beans. To me, the green, the little ones like you get frozen, or don't ever do a canned butter bean. That's just wrong. They're already too mushy. Frozen butter beans or fresh butter beans. Anywho, these are large lima beans. We just call these lima beans. So if I say lima bean and you show up with butter beans, we had us a lack of communication. It'll still be eat, and I sure appreciate it. But butter beans are butter beans, and lima beans is lima beans. These are wonderful. I don't know if y'all have ever done this. They're great with salt pork. They're great with ham hock. But the best way of doing them, lima beans and leftover ham. You can stick just the ham bone in your pot. Oh yeah. It will literally just suck all that juice and tallow and the goodness out of a ham bone. It sure will. I ain't beyond sucking on a ham bone, I tell you what. Alright, I'm looking for my coffee cup while I do this. And it was either Denise or Sandy. Oh, who was it? I'm looking for my phone, can't find my phone. Had made the comment, I need to do a book of all my little tips, tricks, my southern ways. I'm just going to use that man's coffee cup. There's a little splash of coffee left. He always uses tiny cups, so I might have 2 splashes left. I always use a big cup. Alright, anywho, lima beans, stick your ham bone in there. I've never done it with beef. We always do lima beans or limas with pork. I've never used a pork roast per se. I'm just gonna get me a pot, and you're gonna, this is how you quick soak them, and the directions to quick soak's on the back of the bag. We just basically do it that way. I never remember to soak them the night before. Not usually. Typically I do not. I always just do a quick soak. So get your water, put on high, and it's been a hot minute since I've done them. Yeah. Bring to a rapid boil for 2 minutes. Remove from heat. Cover and let stand 1 hour. Drain soak water and rinse beans. Yeah, and then we're going to do the cooking. And it takes about 1.5 to 2 hours to cook them, which is perfect. I will do them in a big pot and just throw the ham in there with them. And that ham is just going to, it will thaw, it will just kind of break up. It's going to be good. For my pork roast, I'm going to actually do it for barbecue today. I know the other week I did one and it was just like a pork roast, like elegantly. Everybody loved it that way too. I might just do it that way, because that man did like that better. He did like it better where he could add his own sauce, and and I call that an elegant pork roast. There's barbecue and then there's elegant. And remember, I did like garlic and onion and I don't remember if I did the brisket rub. I think I did. Yeah, I put this rub on it, I do believe. So we're just going to coat it with brisket rub, garlic powder, and onion powder. That way we're gonna soak him in. So let me get this hot water going. I always add a little, and it's not the directions on this, but always add a little bit of salt to your water that you're gonna quick boil, quick soak. That's the word. I had to look at the bag. Quick soak your beans. Always add salt. Just, it's a given. Alright, so let me get going with this, and I'll be back. Okay, my cardio had to go. It is 9:25 in the morning, and we are at 87 degrees. Yeah, yeah. We had a little bit of fall, well, I wouldn't even call it fall weather. It got a little cool. It wasn't 100 degrees last week. Keep calm and let Oma handle it, because Oma can handle it. It cooled off. I ain't gonna say it got cool. It wasn't as hot as it was. There we go. And so that little bit of just chilling made Big Mama won't fall so bad. She pulled out her fall clothes. Big Mama had to pull back her shorts and her t-shirts and lose her sweaters. And y'all, this is itching to beat the band. I've got stitches, but I also got like stray strips going across. And let me tell you, when I tell you it itches and you can't scratch, there ain't no, well, I was going to say there ain't no worse feeling in the world, but yeah, there is. Let me refrain. I'm stirring my beans. They're just now, maybe, thinking about starting to boil. Alright, but I decided on my pork roast. Yeah, I told you I got that good rib recipe from Kimmy Hughes from She's in Her Apron. I am going to leave it linked down below. I'm going to write it, tattoo it on my head if I have to remember to do it. But I'm also going to show y'all while I'm making up the rub. And it's going to make up a bunch of rub. Like a bunch. I need to go ahead and get my brown sugar. But I'm going to coat this pork roast in this rub. Yeah. I'm anxious to try it. I want to taste it so bad. So we're going to use it for our pork. It said it's good with pork, beef, chicken, yada, yada, yada. It just sounds so good. Alright, so for our pork rub, and this is going to work for today. Whenever I do my ribs, I'll just go ahead and make it all up. Keep it in an airtight, zippy. I'm watching my stuff start to boil. Okay, we need a half a cup of garlic powder. Don't get upset or anxious about the measurements, because this is going to be enough to do several meals. And I am not going to have... Alright, we're going to have to like do this in half. We're only going to be able to make half the recipe, because I do not have a half cup of garlic powder. I don't think. I had that man clean out my spices the other day. Yep. I'm not seeing it. I was looking. Nope. Wheel beetle. Okay, we're only going to be able to make half the recipe. So we're doing about 1/4 of a cup, because this is a half cup measure. That's about halfway. So we're going to do 1/4 of a cup of garlic powder. 1/8 of a cup of black pepper. How do you measure 1/8 of a cup? Half of a 1/4? Alright, so where's my 1/4? Alright, this is a 1/4, and we're going to measure about half. And I am just roughly eyeballing, y'all. That's about half. So, 1/8 of a cup of black pepper. I got to remember to say half. I'm just going to break it all, and we just going to have broken ribs. Alright, ooh, I got to start my timer from beans. Yeah. They're going to boil for about 2 minutes. Right now, we need half a tablespoon of paprika. Always, 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 maybe monthly, check your Alright, so 3 tablespoons is, 3 teaspoons is 1 tablespoon. We're going to have math class today, y'all. Alright, so 1.5 teaspoons. It actually has a 1.5 measure on there. Is half of a tablespoon. Oh my gosh, y'all, I'm doing fractions. Right. Alright, so got my paprika. Alright, now for cayenne pepper. Wait a minute. I'm getting a ladder. This will be the second time in 24 hours I got up on this ladder. I got up on the ladder yesterday. This was something I did last night. Whenever I get anxious or nervous or just had it, I forgot I did this last night. Yeah, we did takeout pizza. And it had been a hot minute since I touched my kitchen. I did not do anything to my kitchen this past week, cleaning wise. Fat Man and Carol Beth tag teamed and did dishes for me. Basically all during the week. And last night, I just, after we ate pizza and before wrestling came on, I just had this, I had to do it. Okay, we need the same thing with cayenne. We want 1.5 teaspoons of cayenne pepper. Anywho, I had this weird notion to scrub down my cabinets. So I got my Dawn Power Wash and I started just spraying the stew out of my cabinets. I did. Got up on the ladder and we went to town. Yes, ma'am. Alright, now we've done our 1.5 teaspoons of cayenne pepper. We want 1.5 teaspoons of onion powder. All of this is calling for 1 tablespoon. And remember, we're halving it. So, I need 1.5 of onion powder going in. I guess I need to put y'all down here. You want to see what I'm doing instead of what I'm yammering about, right? There. Okay. So I got my onion powder in. Alright, now we need 1/4 cup of brown sugar. I'm going to get this out of my way. It's empty. That was my garlic powder. Alright. Onion powder is done. Paprika is done. I usually try to put stuff up as I do it. Alright, so brown sugar, we need 1/4 cup. Here we go, here it is. Alright, now we're just going to pull that off the eye. I'm just going to kind of let it soak in that water for just a few minutes while I finish this up. We want 1/4 cup of brown sugar. So, there's my brown sugar going in. Now, close it back up. Oh, that's my hand. I stuck my hand in on my brown sugar container. Alright, now, 1.5 teaspoons of ground cumin. We need to go this way with our doings. So 1.5 teaspoons of ground cumin going in. And then 1/4 tablespoon of chili powder. How would I do 1/4 of a tablespoon. We're just going to do what would a fourth of a Hey Google, what's a fourth of a tablespoon?
The answer is 0.25 US tablespoons.
What the heck? In other words, it's smidgen, which is a little bit more than a dash. Alright. That is it for our, that is it for our concoction. Hey y'all, the cover upside down, I'm so sorry. Alright, so just close up your Ziploc bag. This was the whole point in doing it in a zippy, so you have it in your airtight whenever you're done. And you use a half a cup of this rub on whatever you're cooking. So I gotta remember, hey Google, shopping list, garlic powder.
I found a few locations for shopping list garlic powder near you.
I forgot. Hey Google, make note. This is she talks to me. Hey Google, make note.
What do you want it to say?
Shopping list, garlic powder.
Saving note.
Okay. That is all mixed up. We are not going to use this whole thing. No. We're going to put our biscuit rub back up. I have to figure out where he bought that, because it can't be good. I'm saving it for some chicken I want to do later this week. I still have to do my meal plan and my planning. I'm praying this upcoming week. I'm doing my crock pot liner. Y'all never tried these? Girl, game changer. Yes, yes, game changer. Alright. Get my coffee out of the way. Alright, you're supposed to use a half cup. Half cup of this rub on whatever you're doing. So I'm going to measure out. I might do just a fourth. I don't want it overpowering it. And this is small. The half a cup was for the ribs. So let's do a fourth of a cup. Because she had like 6 big country style ribs. So, and this is just a little guy. So we're going to go with not even quite a fourth of a cup. That still looks like an awful lot. I keep going back and forth. I'm using about that much. This is a half cup measuring cup. Let me see if I can tilt y'all down. This is a half cup measuring cup. Jiminy Christmas. I got to learn how to do camera angles, y'all. And I've got it about halfway. Yeah, about halfway. So we're going to use, hey! We're going to use about that much. Now, I'm just going to seal this up. Getting all the air out. You know, you could do the, I would not do the, you could, but don't. The, you know, the straw zip trick, you know, where you put your straw in it, and then you pull, and it's vacuum sealed. Do not ever do it with the powder. Yeah. Because that powder is going to get sucked up immediately and get into your throat, and you'll, yeah, it ain't going to be pretty. So I'm just sealed that up, and I'm just going to stick it up there in my cabinet. Now, we're going to open up this roast, and we're going to rub him down. Alright, so I've got Lupper, lunch, supper, whatever you want to do. It's going to be grab whenever it's ready. Eat what you want. Later tonight, grab something else. Eat what you It's usually how we do Saturday. And well, now Sunday, we always have Sunday lunch. Whether it's just me, Fat Man, and Carol Beth, or whether a slew of the kids come home with their significant others or not. We always do a family lunch, dinner, whatever you want to call it. We usually eat on Sundays anywhere from like 12:30 to 2. Depends on what we're having, depends on who all's here. If we're waiting for, you know, Brian and Andrew to come in from Andalusia. Yeah, so, and it's been a while, well, Labor Day. They all came home Labor Day. Except Becca. Becca wasn't able to come because she had been exposed to COVID. She didn't have it, blessedly. Thank you, Lord. But, yeah, I've got my meat going. Y'all, that rub, and it hadn't even actually started cooking yet. Whew, as I was rubbing it on, it smells so good. So, I got that going. I do need to get, I just sat down. I'm going to have to sit for a minute because my back, it's always like my lower back, like along my kidneys, right along my hip bones, I guess it would be, but along my back. Oh, if I stand too long, oh my sweet heavenly stars. It'll hurt. And then when I sit down, it's like, ooh, it feels good, but it hurts. So I'm going to sit here for a minute, collect my thoughts, get up off my butt here in a second, and go start some laundry. And that's going to be my gist for the day. Laundry, and probably either, I'm into The Sopranos now that I watched that movie last night. It was good. Wasn't as much whacking as I thought there would be. I thought they would be whacking a lot more people, but you know how it goes. Anywho, I'll be back. Okay, I got my laundry going. My beans have about another 30 minutes to quick soak before I can start, you know, letting them do their thing or just rinsing and waiting. I think I'm going to go ahead and start cooking them because, hey Google, she can't hear me. Anywho, it's getting on up in time. So, y'all, but I had to come on here and let you know. I'm trying to get some fall scents going in my little warmers. I got my little mason jar, and then I've got my little metal house that I keep on the little stand, Fat Man maybe. And I've been doing the spring night or something, a summer smell. And I thought I want to rock some fall. And I've got a pumpkin spice that I got from, I got this from Tractor Supply. And I want to say, I don't remember, this Autumn Woods. Christine, did you give me this or did I get it from Tractor Supply? I don't remember. It's from Antique Candle Company. Y'all, all I gotta say is, oh my sweet stars and garters. This beats out pumpkin spice any day. It's Autumn Woods. Ugh. I ain't never in my life. That is divine. I'm going to put like 2 in my mason jar. And then I've got a pecan pie one. I'm not one too much for the food ones. Part of me wants to say, I'm going to have to look this up in a minute because it's going to drive me crazy. Part of me wants to say I got them at Tractor Supply like at the beginning of spring. You know, clearance. And I thought, well, I'll store them and keep them and then use them. Alright, so I got my little mason jar going. I'm just going to put 1 little cube in him. And then I'll do 2 cubes in my little house. And they are kind of breaking apart. That one broke off. I'll throw that little piece in my mason jar. Hey, do an eye check. But yeah, I am going to go look it up because that is going to drive me nuts. Wondering where on earth. And I would love to be able to tell y'all where to get it because sweet mercy child. I could just sit and do this, sniff all day. They'd probably make a 12-step program for people that do that. What's your addiction? Wax melts. Oh, have y'all ever stood in the candle aisle and just sniffed and whiffed till you never started getting swimming headed? Alright, so here's my little metal house. As cute as the dickens. I had to talk myself into it though. I've had it for quite some time now. This was before we got broke. Don't mind my armpit here. Yeah. Okay. I think that's on. Alright. So there she goes. There's one of the little hats I made. Isn't that too stinking cute? I'm doing these years back. I used to do, I guess my high point year was 700 and something for Operation Christmas Child, the shoe boxes, and I would just send them to the main distribution center and they would put them in. If y'all do not know that, that's how that works. Our distribution center around our state, southeastern, is Atlanta. I don't know if everything goes through Atlanta. I don't remember. We went to the Atlanta distribution center years back as part of our homeschool group. Oh, now I am getting lightheaded from that candle. It smells so good though. Anywho, everything would come through there, and they actually open up boxes and make sure there is no liquid. They make sure that nothing is in there that's not supposed to be in there. You know, you've got people that are double checking. And everything that's been sent, like in multiples, like the little hats, or if little, you know, somebody sent a surplus of crayons. I remember when we went, because people would buy stuff like back to school shopping. Man, those Rose Art crayons back in the day, you could get a box for $1. And so we even did that. We would buy cases of them. A, for our homeschool. 2, to donate to the Christmas boxes. And they would just have everything sorted out. All the crayons that had been donated would be in one section. All the markers in another. Back then, bar soap could have been donated. I don't know if that's on the no list now or not. This was back in the day. Bar soap was allowed because all that was in one stack. Back in the day, toothpaste could be donated. And they would just, you know, if box looked kind of light, or people had donated, I want to do the shipping and donate a box. You fill the box. And so that was what some of our homeschool kids did. They went from pallet to pallet to pallet, like a box of crayons, a hat, some pencils. You know, they would just go from stack to stack, filling those boxes. You know, so that's how that worked. But, you know, that one year I donated 700, and I want to say it was 780 hats. Yeah. And I just enjoy making them. I've got a ton, I mean like a boatload of yarn that just, it's in there, and it's just sitting there, and it needs to be used. So hats it will be. I did find the shawl pattern. I want to make y'all. I think that might be, but I want a specific yarn. I've got to save up my little egg money. I used to always call it my egg money. I would get a little spare money from selling eggs. I don't have eggs to sell now, so. Anywho, to buy the yarn to make that shawl, I want to. Okay, my timer has gone off for my beans to finish their quick soak. It is almost 11 o'clock, so say 2 hours, 11 to 12, 12 to 1. That means my beans and ham will be ready about 1 o'clock. So we could eat that for like our lunch meal, and then whatever we don't eat today, of course, we'll do leftovers tomorrow. I drained off my water, and I dumped my beans. I should have soaked them in this pot, and I wasn't thinking, you know, I just wasn't thinking. So, got this in this pot. Oh, we need to come this way, don't we? I'm still learning camera angles. I've opened up my ham, and I am just going to, and I was debating about using all of it in here or just some of it. I think I'm going to dump all of it in here. It's pretty much broken apart now. It's just like the chunk pieces, the end pieces that were left. It was a spiral cut ham because, like, see, there's a slice. And this was like the big chunked end that wasn't sliced. So, I'm just going to break this up. See, that's like a big piece. I'm just kind of, and we're going to just let it cook with these beans, and oh my goodness, it's going to be so good. It actually had a seasoning packet with it. Whenever I buy a spiral sliced ham, I always get a boneless spiral slice, or I try to, if money affords. I'm going to go ahead and get like that much water in it. Alright, if money affords that I can, I will get a, you know, a spiral. But I always try to make sure, whether it's spiral slice or not, to get the seasoning packet with it. Because it just makes it so good. If you don't have a seasoning packet, I have found pineapple juice and brown sugar are a standard go-to for ham. It's just so good on it. Or even apple juice. Apple juice is good with it. Something about citrus and pork. You can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong with citrus and pork. So this is what it's looking like on top. Now, like I said, my ham has some seasoning in it. But I know we still need to put some salt, because those beans require a good bit of salt. So it might help us to turn the eye on, y'all. I'll come in 2 hours and think, why ain't my lunch done? See, that's just one big chunk of ham. But as it cooks, it's going to start disintegrating. And it will just kind of flake off, and I'll have chunks of ham in my beans. It's going to be wonderful. Okay, I've got laundry going. I've changed my sheets, which has been a hot minute since I've done that too. I'm not going to say how long because the CDC might show up. I'm just saying. It could be a science experiment. It's been a while. It's been about, I'm embarrassed to say it, it's been about 2 weeks. No, maybe 3. No, I've never gone more than 3 weeks without changing my sheets. Yeah, no. Even when I was home and sick and couldn't really do, I would direct that man to do it. You know, that man never changed sheets while I was in the hospital? What the heck? What the heck? No. Men, if you live alone, change your sheets. Ew. Alright, now, I've got, like I said, laundry's going, my lunch is going. I've got the Michigan-Wisconsin game on. Yeah, I don't know what channel the Arkansas game's on. I digress. I'm sitting here, I've got my wall calendar for October. I've got my planner. I've got a menu plan calendar. Oh, crap, I left my other menu planner in there. Y'all, I did a dream list for the grocery store. A dream list. Necessities like stocking up on canned goods. If y'all have not heard the news, things are going to be harder and harder to find because of shipping delays and canned goods, not because necessarily of the crop or the produce or the items going in the can, but there's an aluminum shortage. And it trickles down. There's a trickle effect. So, made my dream list. Everything that we need to stock up on. Fill the freezer, stock them up. Anything that we might remotely possibly need for the next 2.5, 3 months. Was $1,000. Well, it was 1,100 and something. But in hindsight, if you think about it, it was for about 2.5, 3 months, except for fresh produce and dairy. Still, Big Mama ain't got $1,100. So, I've got to revamp my list. Have you ever done that? Just played on the... I wasn't even really playing. I was thinking, okay, I want a case and a half of these things. Green beans, we plow through. Baby girl, if we have vegetables and she does not like them, I'll tell her, go pick a vegetable that you do like. She instinctively grabs green beans. If we go out somewhere and she can choose a side, green beans. That is her go-to. So on green beans, I seriously need 3 cases because we plow through them because that's her choice. That or English peas. She instinctively goes for green beans more though, but she loves good English, and we do too. If I make the green beans or the English peas for her, that man will instinctively get some too. So, yeah, they're favorites. But anywho, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to do the kitchen calendar and see if this month I can keep track better of things, because I have no clue. I'm going to have that man help me do the budget, because y'all, I seriously sat there, I guess it was yesterday. It was the first of the month. I was trying to pay the first of the month bills. And that's one of the things that I got so frustrated about. I had no clue. And I've done it since I've been home from the hospital. But now my mind, I can't even explain it. I could not think of how to write in the check register. You know, like using your debit card, paying online. Okay, I paid this. I need to deduct this much. I honestly, that's like I was trying to skip. We were talking about wrestling, and Bianca Belair, one of the wrestlers, she skips and swings her long ponytail. I tried skipping. I can't remember how to skip. Isn't that crazy? Just little stuff like that. But doing the checkbook, that's important. That's not like a little insignificant thing like skipping. Brian never learned how to skip. I used to could skip. I forgot how. Don't know. All right, back to planning. Okay, now it's almost 2 o'clock. So lunch, the pork roast is still doing. I tested it, it's still not quite good done. I like it where it's just kind of pulling apart. Tender. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. But the flavor was amazing. This is the lima beans with the ham, and then I opened a can of stewed tomatoes from Aldi, and y'all, usually you have to doctor up even the can of stewed tomatoes. You have to add sugar to them. These were perfect. I did not have to add or do anything to them. So, stewed tomatoes from Aldi's. And this is just that ham. Remember, I told you it would just kind of break up. And look, I can just do that with my fork. So I can get me and it's steaming hot. And I had some red onion in the refrigerator that needed to be used or tossed. So I just finally chopped it and put that on top of there. And this, y'all, you can't beat that for a meal. And it's just using what I had in the freezer and dried lima beans. Now that is good. That is good. So if you have ham, keep those little pieces. Keep those end pieces. Keep those fat pieces. Keep the pieces that you don't think that will be usable. Keep your bone. Lima beans. You gotta do dried limas, y'all. They're good. Filling. Just a good comfort food. I know it's not really per se a football food, but I was just in a mood for it. And I had that ham in the freezer screaming to be used. So that's what we did. So that's going to do it for today. Like I said, I did taste the pork roast. The flavor. Oh my gosh. It just needs to be cooked a little bit longer. So, until next time, y'all be good, be sweet. Don't start nothing, there won't be nothing. Share, play nicely with others. Unless they pick you off, then call Big Mama and we'll get them together. Bye, y'all.